It caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster.
Obviously no blackface costumes.
That's racist. Blackface, I consider that racist. Like, if you just paint your entire face black, that to me is racist.
That means, of course, no blackface.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
No using accents that are from people of color and black and indigenous communities. No taping your eyes back. No wearing of indigenous, spiritual, and cultural wear. So, those are some guidelines for costumes.
Put a pause there. The thing is, if you dress up like a demon or a devil or something like that, you would be wearing indigenous spiritual wear, because a lot of these indigenous tribes just worship demons. So that one's going to be hard. Though I don't really get into all that stuff. I don't want to dress up like a devil on Halloween. Still, a lot of people do that. And if you do, you would be culturally appropriative, according to this person.
This white devil thing has gone far enough.
But also, just don't be racist for the rest of the year either.
Don't be racist. Racism's the worst thing. Nothing is worse than racism. If you do anything bad, you're racist. The word racist, of course, means nothing, though. If wearing a fun little Halloween costume, if wearing a sombrero on Halloween makes you a racist, then racism doesn't mean anything other than anything a white person does that a non-white person wants to object.
Okay, my thing is, bro, some of this stuff I didn't even realize was racist until I started watching these videos, and they brought it to the light that it could be racist. For example, if you're dressing up in a sombrero and I guess a fake mustache or whatever for Halloween, my initial thought wouldn't be that's racist. But after watching these videos, I'm like, is that racist? Like, it just makes you question things. You know what I'm saying?
Too. That's all it is. It's even the very term racism is just a way to tell white people to shut up and to say that all white people are bad. That's basically all it's about. That's especially true on Halloween. Next one.
My monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster.
Put a pause there. I'm a married man, okay? Okay? When I was a young single man, I would have found that costume very fun. Not to wear, but for my female friends to wear. That would have been... I don't see very much wrong with that costume, other than that it's...
Yeah, like, when I look at a costume like that, the first thing I think of isn't racism. It's just like, oh, it's costume. Like, I don't really see that. But maybe I'm not looking at it from the right eyes. I don't know. I don't know what's happening nowadays.
Immodest.
It caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster.
Obviously no blackface costumes.
That's racist. Blackface, I consider that racist. Like, if you just paint your entire face black, that to me is racist. Hey y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe.
I'll probably get in trouble for asking this. Why not? Why not? Why is that? That's obviously the one you... Why not?
Is that...
I say why, in my opinion. I think it's racist to paint your entire face black because of the connotation behind it. For example, in the earlier, I want to say 50s and 60s, they used to use blackface as a way to demonize us in the media. That's why I look at it as racist. Also, in my opinion, I think you can dress up as a black person without having to paint your face or paint your body. Like, if you want to be LeBron James, I mean, the costume would be better if you did paint yourself. I'm not gonna lie. It would be a more accurate representation. And in that case, I wouldn't consider it racist. But I still think you could dress up as a black person without painting yourself. But maybe, is racist the right word though? Because if somebody dressed up as LeBron James and they painted themselves black, I don't think that would be racist. I don't know, bro. It just depends on what you're trying to do. Look, I'm not the racist police. I'm not even finna get into this. Look, it just depends, bro. It depends.
Blackface, dude? Get the f*** out, man!
One time, I was in LA. I was in an Uber, and I could tell that the driver, who was a black guy, was conservative. And there was one of these blackface scandals that cropped up. And I said, what do you think about that? And he said, oh, man, I don't care about blackface. He said, as long as it's in good fun, it's just part of the fun of things, which is such an insightful observation. if you're wearing a culturally appropriative costume because you hate some other race and you want to mock them and insult them and you just want to be cruel to them, then I guess that's a bad thing.
Yeah, like when I really sat and thought about it, I'm like, if somebody painted their face, you know, and they were trying to like mimic like LeBron or something, I wouldn't think that's racist. It just depends on what you're trying to do. That's how I look at it. But I don't know, man. Like when I really said, like, yeah, it just depends what you're trying to do. But if you hate a specific race and you're painting yourself to make fun of someone, it is obviously racist. The best thing, I guess, in this case is to not do it. But if you do it, I mean, it just depends, bro. I'm not finished. It just depends, bro. I'm not gonna hold you.
But if you're just wearing the costume of another culture and it's kind of fun and celebratory, who cares? Seems fine to me.
What?
Sure, I'll be canceled for that, but what can I say? It's the way I see it. It's no secret that here at the Daily Wire, we all love, speaking of our faces, Genucel Dark Spot Corrector.
This is our ideas of one cultural group by members of another cultural group, usually a more dominant cultural group. And this is not to be confused with true cultural exchange, which is typically gifted from the non-dominant cultural group. The flows of power are recognized the systemic erasure of certain cultural homes and forced into boarding schools where they are forced to adhere when they don mass-produced headdresses from minstrel shows to namaste in bed shirts. Remember, culture is not a costume, so go have a fun, safe, and respectful Halloween.
Why isn't culture a costume? Like, honestly, what does that mean? Like, if somebody dresses up as like a basketball player, can I say that's a part of my culture because I love basketball? Can I make them take their costume off? All I'm saying is, how do you define culture? And how do you, get to that point to say, like, no, you can't wear that versus you can wear that? And another thing is, what if someone of a certain culture says you can wear it? Do you need, like, a pass to wear it or a pass not to wear it? For example, when it comes to wearing a sombrero, what if someone who's Mexican says, yeah, you can wear it, but you say, I can't wear it? Can I wear it or can I not wear it? Are you, like, the forebearer of culture appropriation, or like who determines this stuff? That's all I'm saying. And honestly, why is this a debate? I never looked at someone's costume and got offended. But then again, I have other issues to worry about. Like I have real life issues, or real life, not issues, but concerns and responsibilities. So when I hear about this topic, it's just kind of beneath me in a way, I believe. I'm not gonna lie.
Culture is not a costume. I wonder what this lady thinks of Caitlyn Jenner. I want to keep this video on social media, so I'm just going to leave that question here. If you say culture is not a costume, my identity is not your costume, I wonder what this lady thinks about that. Next one.
Inappropriate Halloween costume, check. This just feels wrong.
Why?
Culture's not a costume,
Culture's
dumbass.
not a costume. Okay. Culture's not a costume. I know that these people deny that white people have any kind of culture whatsoever, but we have the dominant culture in the West, obviously. So would the principle hold for a non-white person to wear, I don't know, a leprechaun outfit, something associated with the Irish, or to dress up like Mario and Luigi? Would that be cultural appropriation? What if a black kid put on a three-corner hat and said that he was George Washington crossing the Delaware?
And my thing is, when it comes to these rules, and people may not say it, and this is probably not the most popular thing to say. I feel like when people make these type of videos, they're specifically targeting white people. Because if me as a black man, if I wore a sombrero and a Mexican mustache, I don't think anyone would say anything to me. Honestly, I'm going to tell y'all, these type of discussions don't even happen in black communities, really. Like, I've only ever seen these discussions when it comes to what white people can wear or what white people can do. Because if a black person was wearing something like that, I mean, I really don't get it. And when did these discussions even start? My thing is, if you're really that adamant about types of costumes, then why are you, for one, just now starting to be, targeting people who dress up for Halloween? Why is this not something that I've heard of years ago? This is a new thing. And for two, why are the costumes considered disrespectful? I'm not saying that any cultural costume is all of them are just non-respectful. I'm saying most of them are just a costume. Like, if I dress up as a ninja, am I culturally appropriating someone? Like, everything is from something. Everything is from somewhere. So where do we draw the line?
Would that be evil? Would that be terrible? Why does it only ever go in one direction for one group of people that aren't allowed to do anything?
ACAB, 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 ACAB.
Is the woman having a stroke? ACAB?
Blackfacing? Try dying.
Try dying. Wow.
What?
If you dress up in a way that she doesn't like, she wants you dead. And then she said, ACAB, ACAB. Is that's an anti...
And why does she point to an afro and say blackface? That was racist. White people can have afros. And you don't have to be black to have an afro. How was having an afro blackface?
The cop thing? All cops are bad.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
That's one of the famous final utterances of people before they're attacked by criminals in cities where the cops have been told not to do their jobs. She seems to have a lot of issues. She doesn't need to worry about the costume, the facade. She needs to worry about what's going on inside. The most enlightening of these videos, I'm going to have to say, was not this one. What was the one before this? I got a kick out of her. I would say hers. The woman in the low-cut yellow hoodie. Hers was the most enlightening for me because it lulled me to sleep. And
hers didn't really make much sense to me, if I'm being honest. I didn't really know what she was talking about. Like, I heard a lot of words, but I didn't hear any real statements. But let me know what y'all feel about these rules for dressing up. Like, if you dress up as an anime character, that's appropriating. If you dress up as a character written by someone outside of your race, that's appropriation. Because my thing is, where does appropriation start and where does it end? Who knows? So just only wear your culture. But then again, that's a part of segregation if you... Anyways, this episode is